Hi everyone, the Pharaoh Man here. I have another YouTube video. This is on Infinity Blade 2 on the new skycages update. I'm gonna explain what the update consists of and what the enemies you will be fighting are and stuff like that. And before that, I'm also going to explain how to get a lot of money on the game quite quickly and easily. I'm going to do this as kind of like a slideshow. Anyhow, the first picture you see here, if you guys have played the game, you know where this location is. I'm just quickly explaining how to get to the location to get a lot of money. You follow the maps, you keep going into the arena, you fight the stupid monster. Okay, when you get here, from the last major update, one of the things you had to go after was the vile armor. The location of the vile armor itself of the set is up the tree, and then you fight that stupid bird creature. You climb the tree and you get into its nest. When you're in its nest, that's where you can get a whole bunch of little money bags here and stuff, as you see right here. There's a whole bunch of bags along the side here. Usually by the time I go through just the basic story, go up here, you can actually go up in here multiple times, which I've done continuously. You go up through here, you follow the tree, you get up in this area, and by the time you get to the top of the tower and you restart again, usually I get about 100,000 by that point. Now also, I've played through the game several times. As you see, it's levels 270. I believe the first time I fought it, it wasn't nearly that strong. Well, anyhow, you fight it, you beat it, and like I said, you go up to the tower, and that's the quickest and easiest way I could recommend to get money. Another way you can actually glitch the game, and I believe this does work. When you're going up into the nest, let me go back a sec. When you go up into the nest and you're about to fight it, right before you select the last few bags, like maybe leave like one bag or two bags unclicked, just leave them there. And I believe I glitched the game a few times, because after you select that last bag, and this was before the last update, so I don't know if it'll still work, but right when you select that last bag and you get to this part, like right when it's about to charge at you, you select up over here where the bubble was to, just get away from the nest, get away from the creature. And a few times it actually let me collect all the bags and get out of there without having to fight the creature. The biggest advantage of that is just being able to continuously go through the game again and again and again, just quickly, if you're trying to get a certain amount of money so you don't have to waste any cash. Now, with the new update, the update, it's called the skycages update. I believe that's what it's called. It mainly is a whole bunch of new weapons, new enemies, and there's also a new area. I'm going to explain how to get to the new area. This hallway here, if you've played through the game, if you beat it a few times, you know where this area is. Once you go through after you go through the first bloodline and you fight that evil chick on top of the like mound thing that you have to fight, after you defeat her, you are able to go through the castle and stuff. You go, with my original picture that I showed, you go straight ahead, you go into the main castle, you end up inside the library. After you defeat whatever creature is there at the library, it does vary, you go down the left corridor, the left bubble, you go through there, you end up in the tomb where you end up getting the holy band if you have the vile armor from the last update. You fight that creature, you go up the stairs, and you end up here. When you're here, you fight the creature that's normally straight ahead. I already beat it. Then you take this right bubble. You go in there and you end up here. This is new. If you go up these stairs, it takes you to the top of the tower. This door is part of the new update. This door requires the large key. I believe normally it's about 140,000, but because I'm farther in the game, I believe its price went up. I'm seeing that more and more items that I haven't bought yet, their prices are going up as I seem to go further. At least I believe that's the case. Anyhow, you unlock the door. Once you pay and use the large key to open the door once, I believe up until you beat the game again, you don't have to use another key each time to get through the door. Okay? You go up the staircase, and this is the new area. You end up fighting they call him a headsman. He's not that difficult if you... The biggest thing I could recommend if you're fighting, not even these guys, but just fighting the higher level of enemies and stuff, the biggest thing I could recommend is the Holy Band. Okay? It's a level 10 item. Once you master it, just keep on beefing up your magic, and you could honestly take out anything. If you're able to dodge at least even a third of their attacks, and you're able to throw that thing off even 2 times against any of these morons, you can easily take him out. You fight him, you beat him, and it's really easy to do. Anyhow, after you defeat him, you see this bubble over here, you click it. You don't click the other one. That bubble opens up an area, and then there's 3 skycages, which you can see up over here. This is the one to the right, the one in the center, and the one on the left. There's only 3 of them. Once you beat all 3 of them, guess what happens? Nothing. Ironically enough. You would think it would be similar to the first Infinity Blade game. When you defeat them, it unlocks something else, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't. Anyhow, the sky cage to the far right, you end up fighting this lovely looking guy. He's a pretty big brute. The weapon he wields has a lot of damage. And sadly, in order for you to fight him, you have to have this weapon, the noble weapon. It cost 600,000 to acquire. Luckily for me, I got it in a prize wheel. I would not recommend trying to get it that way. After you defeat him, you get a blade. It's a light weapon, 450 damage. It's decent, but it's really nothing to cry over if you can't beat him. My stats aren't that high, and even I was able to beat him. Now, Sky Cage in the center, you end up fighting this guy. After you beat him, and you go through this, your next rebirth, after your next rebirth, he actually ends up returning, and he gives you a heavy weapon that has an attack gain of 1300, which is pretty darn high. As far as I know, it's the highest one I found. Sky Cage to the left, you fight this lovely looking guy. More or less, the Sky Cage in the center, you do not need any special weapons or whatever, as far as I could remember. The Sky Cage to the right, you need the Noble, and the Sky Cage to the left, you need, it's called the Widow Shriek. It also costs 600,000, but as you see, after you master it, you can sell it for 150,000, so not bad. I would, however, would probably hold on to the Noble and the Widow Shriek, so then when you go through the game multiple times after you beat it, you could continuously refight these creatures and get additional weapons, money, stuff like that. Yeah, as far as I know, nothing happens after you defeat all 3 of them. Nothing special happened for me anyhow, except for the fact I got the, the achievements on my game, but that's about it. My stats really are not all that high. I'm going to show them to you real quick, and I was even able to defeat these things. Like, there's my guy. Basically, with the Noble, the biggest, it all goes back to having the Holy Band. It goes back to having that again. It also helps if you have the Rainbow Defense. If you don't know how to get that, you could find it on Wikipedia. Well, not Wikipedia, it's called Infinity Blade Wiki. Besides that, just make sure you have a decent amount of HP and you know how to dodge a few things. Like, I saw guys even stronger than this off of YouTube try fighting those creatures and they couldn't kill it. I was able to do it. It just depends on your skill set and what you know how to do. Well, that's my video, and I hope this helps whoever out. I do have a question for a few people. Biggest thing I want to know is if you guys know any easier ways to get some money on this game, or mainly how to get these black armors. As far as I can tell, the only way to get them is if you're in New Game Plus. I'm hoping that's not the only case, but I'm really curious, okay? If you guys know, let me know. Besides that, later.